Well, guys, I don't know what happened to JC. Lost him. But I'm gonna hold down the fort here for a second while he gets on. But JC, welcome back. Oh, you're muted, guys. His oven just exploded. Just so you guys know. Nope, I wasn't kidding. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Well, guys, we have quite the show today. As you can see, JC is quantum proof and Reptar is pre-rich today. Woo! Well, JC figures everything out. We are going
How
to get
about now?
into... Yeah! What's up, JC?
Guys, Reptar and I've been talking for the last 20 minutes, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that was very, very strange.
Sorry, I am having to update our stuff because I forgot to.
Oh, I'm literally doing it right now. You're good. Look at us go. Professional operation.
Yeah, I got that. I got that. That'll work for now.
Yeah.
All right, and we can do some hashtags later. Sorry about that. I had to run. My wife left some stuff in the oven, and then she went to go get a massage because today's her day off. And when you sit around a microscope doing surgery like this all day, every day, guess what happens to your neck and back? So, yeah, it's a professional expense. Morning, Mr. Gray. Good to see you. Let me check over on the TikTok, see if anybody's in here. Good morning, TikTok and X and YouTube on the live show. We have a crap ton of stuff to cover today, so I'm going to go ahead and get to the bubbles, my bubbles.
Yeah. Woo! Guys, a lot of stuff going on today.
Kind of a red day. Let me switch to that.
Guys, remember yesterday when we were talking about Rave and we said, hey, maybe not a good time to buy right now because it's up 1,700%. Wait for a pullback. Well, here you go, guys. If you're interested, now's a better time than any.
I mean, from the high yesterday, almost $20 down to $11. I mean, it's down almost 50% on the day. I know it says 26, but that's just measuring from 24 hours ago to now. It's not measuring from the top.
It was a $4 billion market cap yesterday. That's crazy.
And now it's still almost a $3 billion. But if this is a space that you're interested in, I don't know. Is this just going to be a run up and then dump? You know, we did talk about yesterday that the top 10 wallet holders of the Rave token hold like 99.7% of all the tokens. So, yeah, that's something to be aware of.
The only thing I find interesting about it is there's not a lot of music-related tokens. I know there's Jam on HBAR, but that hasn't done very much. There's just not a lot as far as that industry. So it's interesting to see it get such a crazy valuation like right there. There's definitely interest and demand in music-related tokens. So
yeah, and I mean, as we get into, you think about tokenization of song rights and tokenization of songs and tokenization of artists' work, you know, and copyright issues and stuff. I think that space still has to be fleshed out. Sorry, I could go off on a tangent on that, but yeah.
Well, the biggest, really quickly, I think the biggest, you know, we always talk about tokenization of this, tokenization of that, and a lot of people are like, okay, well, why does that matter? Every single thing, every single industry, everything is eventually going to be put on blockchain. And people are figuring out how to do that right now. So when you see first movers in an industry, they usually do this because
even if they turn out to not be the best product for that, they're still the first mover. They're the only mover. People see the need and they go, well, there's nothing better. Let me go with this.
I use this as like the best example. So for Rave, for example, let's say you bought a concert ticket and you lost it and you try to get in and you can't. Okay, the ticket validates you to be able to get into the concert. Same thing with like your cigarettes or alcohol, or you get pulled over. it's to verify you are who you say you are, and it all requires a piece of paper that can get lost, stolen, and if it does get damaged, you got to pay $80 and sit at the DMV to get it renewed. It's all archaic and slow. So eventually, all of this stuff is going to be tokenized. So it's just on the blockchain. And
yeah, part of that is a nice evolution. Like, it used to be you could type up your research paper for school on your computer, and you could print it out from home, or you could put it on a thumb drive and take it to school and print it out. But now with Google Docs, I can access that document anywhere on the planet. And I don't have to take anything with me. It's never lost. Oh, if I forget it, oh no, I'm at Reptar's house. Hey, can I borrow your computer for a minute? Click, click, click. Here it is. So part of that is just like you're saying, the evolution of pretty much everything. Digital identity, but also just digital tokenization of everything allows you instant access and proof of ownership across everything that's tokenized.
Yeah, which is a much bigger deal than it sounds. But
I wanted to look at that.
See
how Tao's still hanging out at 246. I'll be interested to see where it goes from here. They did have. We're not going to talk about it because I don't have it pulled up. But the Tao guy, Consta or whatever, invested. They have a new node opening today that he invested like 10 million in. So. Anyway,
look at DOT down another 10% for the day too. We talked about DOT getting a bottom, JC, next rave. To the right. Yep. If you guys, DOT actually had, it didn't get hacked, but it was exploited.
Yeah. The bridge, but the ETH bridge for wrapped DOT got hacked.
Yeah, so it was basically
they were able to create fake wrapped DOT and sell it as the real thing on the ETH through the ETH bridge. So,
can you hit F11 so we can see just so I can?
Dang it. I had it up there and then I turned it off. Sorry.
Oof. Yeah. Brutal.
So yeah, DOT not looking great.
What's a DEX-E? That's new and that's up.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one before today. So it's up. It was in the top 100 yesterday.
Only a $500 million market cap. That could be interesting. It's obviously a DEX.
Yeah, let's see what it is. It is. Why is it up today? I don't care. Let's see what it is. I just wanted to take a look at that. The treasury, the foundation, the team. That's more than, that's 60, that's 80%. I'm not real.
It's decent tokenomics.
I'm not real big on these top three being 80% of the tokens. Total holders, 50,000, market cap's $1 billion. Holder distribution, again, that does not make me happy. DEX is a decentralized governance protocol that makes AI ownership transparent. Okay. Maybe.
Okay, interesting. So again, something in the AI narrative is pumping. And guys, this is a $500 million market cap. That's still very, very low.
No, I'm showing $1 billion.
Oh, that's interesting because it didn't say that on. Why is there such a large discrepancy? And I
don't know. Let me close this and go back to this.
Very strange.
Yeah, that's But again, I'm not a big fan of the top 10 wallets holding 90% plus of the tokens because that's just a recipe for a pump and dump.
And I think there's better AI projects anyway, to be honest.
Sure. But it has seen movement and something to be aware of. All right, let's move on because, like I said, we got a ton of stuff to cover. I can close that one because I have this one. Let's refresh that. Still hanging out 2.5 trillion. Market cap's down just a little bit today. Fear and greed back to neutral. We were almost into greed yesterday, which is just mind-boggling to me. Let's take a look and see what Bitcoin did yesterday. Let's zoom in on some daily candles here. So the daily candle yesterday went all the way up to 76. So Bitcoin actually broke 76 and then came back down. We're hanging out now at 74, but as you can see here, these are daily candles. Each
I
day
do
is
want to point out something because we mentioned this yesterday. You see that first candle, guys, that first peak. We said on the morning show yesterday that if it can't break that peak, it is going to crash, and that is exactly what happened. It hit that resistance level.
Yeah, and it may come back up, and it may have to come back up here and test it several times, or it may reject hard. If you zoom out here, you can see this type of thing. It was down, it came up to here. It's like, are we going to break it? See, you can see where the line touches there in a couple of spots. You're like, it tried to break it, and then it rejected. It tried to break it, and then it rejected, and then it broke it just a little bit, and then rejected hard. We could see that happening again. Some technical analysis are calling for that. Some people are saying, yeah, we kind of bottomed out, and they talk about higher lows. Well, the low of each of these candles is a little higher than these are dailies, and I want to say the weekly looks even a little better. So it's like, could we be turning around? Could this be the bottom and we're turning around? Maybe. Could we see another, we can't quite break through, so we're going to flush? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a TA guy, so I'm holding for the long term. I don't care.
And that's the thing. A quick dump is always possible when people are manipulating the markets. But at the end of the day, there is way too much bullish news. There's way too much institutional money. Like, I think we are, even if we crash to even 40,000, I'm not going to be nervous because we all know where it's going in the long term. So, it's
yeah, and I mean, it's why are these big boys manipulating? Why are they doing it? They're doing it to make money.
Lose money.
They're doing it to make money. So why are they manipulating you down so they can buy it cheaper? Why are they buying it cheaper? Because it's gonna freaking go. And
that's the thing. Like when people call crypto stupid or a scam or whatever word they like to use for it, it's just mind-boggling to me because it's like, do you really think that the smartest, richest, most powerful people in the world are wrong?
Just do what the whales do.
Billions of dollars at this.
You just can't do it as big as they can, but just do what the whales do. I've got probably 6 or 7 things to rip through as far as news goes, and then we'll get to kind of our headlines here about Bitcoin Quantum and XRP. For Merlin the Trader, today you could expect a lot of crypto sell-off, maybe, just because people need to sell off to pay taxes. Something to be aware of as you watch the markets today is people may be selling because they owe taxes. Extortion fees. You would cry if I told you what I had to pay this year, over and above what was withheld from our income last year.
I just don't understand how the American Revolution started on a 7% beverage tax, and here we are.
Yeah. Wow. So from Coin Bureau, by the way, and we talk about the Clarity Act a lot. The Clarity Act is not on the schedule for next week.
They did it again.
Tom, I don't know, Tillis released the final draft this week, and the last piece needed before the committee can call a markup. So the banking committee has to mark it up. Then it goes to the, it's got to align with the Senate Agriculture Bill, which has already been passed. The 60 vote, zombie filibuster bullshit is not going to matter on this one. It's not, Crypto Clarity Act is not a controversial party line thing. Everybody wants crypto clarity because they all want to make money, which great. Let's all make money.
The normie translation is, hey guys, we're going to postpone this because our boys that we're in bed with haven't bought enough yet.
Yeah. From Financial Players, Clarity Act timeline becomes clear as final details take shape. Rewards could be resolved in the next 2 weeks. DeFi is nearly as close. Final alignment may take a few more weeks. Like, they keep pushing back. It's never going to get done because it's the fucking Senate, and they're worthless.
But this guy, I will say, he is the one that has been drafting.
Yeah, this is the chair of the Senate Banking Committee and the head of the Clarity Act push. This is Senator Tim Scott. Let's see. Let's
And
continue
all of the
moving
people
quickly.
in Congress and the Senate right now, I don't want to offend anyone here, but they're all boomers. You know what I mean? Like they're definitely. I'm surprised that there isn't more pushback.
There's a few politicians, more so in the House, that are 30, 40, maybe young 50s. Most of the Senate is 60 plus, and they need to go.
You know what?
Because,
Maybe we should just go back to using seashells.
yeah. Anyway, again, from Bull Runners HQ, Clarity Act has the deadlines coming fast. Tim Scott said that the major components are going to be sold in the next few weeks. Full digital asset framework locked in by 2026. So, again, will this pass? If they ever get off their ass and do anything.
But I love that last part. This isn't a maybe anymore.
It's a win. It's not a if. Another bit of news from DeFi Walmart here. The Fed will inject. I was like, they're going to, tomorrow, when did he post this? Today. So tomorrow, the Fed's going to be like, hey, let's see, that's thousands, millions.
Next time you guys go to your
billions.
local ATM, feel the money. It is the wildest thing. It is the newest, crispest, stickiest money you've ever felt. And it's almost at every ATM that I've been to over the past week.
So anyway, the Fed tomorrow is going to throw out another $5 billion. And we talked about it yesterday. They're doing $40 billion over the next month. Money printers go burr. I thought this is fun. We're talking about the next Fed chair. Jerome Powell's term is up at the end of the month here. Actually, 1 month from today, Jerome Powell is done as the Fed chair. Yay. The next Fed chair is predicted to be Kevin Warsh. That's the guy the White House wants. Apparently, he's got good relationships with the Senate, who has to confirm him. He had to file a financial disclosure. He owns a stake in SpaceX. He owns some Polymarket. He owns Ethereum dev tools in the form of Tenderly. He owns some crypto fintech, Lemon Cash and StashFin. He owns some AI workplace platforms, robotic coffee bars, herpes vaccines, reversible male contraceptives, cutting edge science stuff, healthcare stuff, and he owns a digital cloning platform. He's an owner of Delphi AI.
So you'll invest in reversible male contraceptives, but not H-bar? Weird.
The next Fed chair is more degen than you. I just find that funny.
That is wild.
When he was working with Stanley Druckenmiller, that's a financial guy. He called Bitcoin the new gold for anyone under 40. He owns 30 plus crypto projects.
Okay, I spoke too soon.
Excuse me. Solana, Optimism, Blast, Compound, DYDX, Polychain, Scalar Capital, Lighter. Let's see. Let me move this over so you guys can see that.
Yeah, he's not going to make it.
Let's see. Bray owns some Brave. Reptar and I were talking about that. Some Lightning Network. That's a Bitcoin layer 2. Canvas, Coworker, Creator DAO, Crossmint.
Yeah. Guys, I'm sorry. Controversial take here. He is going to get wrecked on a lot of these.
Maybe.
He's got an Ethereum layer 2 on there. Yikes. Yikes.
Sports NFTs, NFT developer tools. Crossmint is a big one. Polychain is a crypto VC, venture capitalism firm. Compounds DeFi, money. Look, that's your next Fed chair. I like it. By the way, he said this the other day. Scott Bessent is the Treasury Secretary. This is not the other guy. This is the Treasury Secretary. Said, quote, let me move this so you guys can see it if you're watching. Banks were invented around Bretton Woods, which post-World War II led to incredible prosperity around the world. So why can't we do that again? Guys, crypto, DeFi, centralized finance, blockchain is the next Bretton Woods. Maybe we'll do a little short video on what Bretton Woods was and why this next iteration is going to be Bretton Woods Part 3. Bretton Woods 1, World War II. Bretton Woods 2, when the U.S. went off the gold standard. Bretton Woods 3 coming soon.
we definitely have to do a video about that. And it's interesting, guys, because obviously everyone's trying to make money in crypto. Who needs to make the most money? Who has the biggest debt in the entire world right now?
That's right. The United States.
So if you think they're not going to absolutely send this shit, like,
they're going to so basically, if you, this is someone said it this way about Bretton Woods Part 2, where we went off the gold standard. Basically, some of the countries around the world that owned our debt were like, hey, we'd like to redeem this for gold. And LBJ was like, yeah, we don't do that anymore.
And that should show you exactly how worthless the US dollar is, because again, it's supposed to be a note that represents something.
Now what it represents is buying power of oil, and we're going to talk about how that's changing too.
Oil and energy are really the only two things that are valuable.
This is what from Crypto Tice here, breaking it down again. $40 billion printed out of thin air. Musk has said there's 14 magic money computers, and they all just turned on. It's not a rumor. It's not a leak. The Fed has started QE. Every scarce asset on Earth just got a rocket. This is the important part. They print infinity dollars. There is no more Bitcoin. So therefore, each Bitcoin is worth more dollars.
And you know what? Anybody with a computer can mine Bitcoin. But I promise you, if you try to run a dollar bill through your printer, you're going to be getting some knocks at the door. So,
that's frowned upon.
Isn't it funny that the government can do things that are felonies for most people? You know?
Yeah. So we talked about this yesterday, but I saw this and I wanted to touch on it real quick because it's a better explanation than what we had yesterday. We talked about BlackRock's ETF derivatives type product, okay? Pays you cash monthly just for holding Bitcoin. You hold Bitcoin, you believe the price, but your Bitcoin just sits there and does nothing except either price goes up or goes down. No dividend, no cash flow, no passive income. BlackRock is creating their, like we said, BITA is the ticker, their iShares Bitcoin Premium Income ETF. It's going to launch in a few weeks. BlackRock will take its own iBit fund, which is their Bitcoin ETF, the world's largest Bitcoin spot ETF, and they will sell call options. The premiums that they collect for that get distributed to you if you hold BitA.
Ooh, that sounds a lot like a security, JC.
It absolutely is a security. It is a securitized product. ETFs, and in this case, the premium income ETF, are both going to be regulated by the SEC because they are securities. Bitcoin is not a security. But if you create an exchange fund that purchases the commodity that is Bitcoin or XRP or any crypto, that fund is a security.
And that's why I bring that up, because essentially, guys, if you buy an ETF, you're buying a security, different regulations and stuff. If you just buy Bitcoin, you're buying a commodity. So that's another, I think, important difference too when you're deciding, should I just buy the Bitcoin ETF or should I buy Bitcoin? You're holding two completely different assets technically. So
look at this. So apparently this type of product, this covered call strategy, which basically gives you dividends, it already exists. YBTC from Roundhill, I don't know who that is, pays 40% per year right now. That's impressive. But here, like I said, here's the catch. The actual, here, you collect the yield. When the price is down, you collect the yield, but you ride the price backwards.
It's like how liquidity pools
work. That's a trade-off. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a TradFi version of what you can already take your ETH and stake it and earn 10%.
But this is still better than the banks. You know, and if you want a safe investment, an ETF is kind of the way to go, you know, like it's a way to get the older generation into it to feel safe. I really.
So yeah, I wanted to get a better explanation than what we had yesterday, because we just found out about it yesterday and I read this and I thought, oh, this is way better than what I can do.
Yeah, we were wondering how they were doing that.
Here we go. Let's get into the Bitcoin quantum realm.
How long?
With Ant-Man and Wasp.
2 minutes. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but I do want to watch a little bit of it because this is really interesting. This goes back to the idea of quantum computing. Developers right now, a couple days ago, started really scrambling to find ways to make Bitcoin protected against quantum computing. And within 2 days, they already came up with a solution. And we're going to share that here in a second. But this is why quantum computing is not a threat to crypto, because by the time it's a thing, crypto will be protected against it.
Well, and here's the thing. If you can use quantum computing as an offensive weapon, you can also use it for defense. All right, let me switch to the audio, and I will mute. So
imagine quantum-powered AI.
All right, going on mute.
Quantum computing at some point could break the algorithm for Bitcoin? Are there countermeasures that they could be put in? You probably understand what I'm asking you. Do you worry about that?
You look like you slept okay.
You look like you slept okay last night.
It's mainly marketing by people that want to sell you the next quantum yo-yo token. But look, Google and Microsoft aren't going to sell you a quantum computer that cracks modern cryptography, because it would destroy Google and Microsoft and the US government and the banking system. And at some point, I don't think it's this year, next year, in the next 5 years, but sometime 10, 20 years out, if there's a hyper powerful computer that threatens modern cryptography, the answer is Bitcoin network hardware upgrades, Bitcoin network software upgrades, just like Microsoft, Google, the US government upgrade all their messaging and banking applications.
I want to remind you, cryptography. Oh.
Okay, should be good now. I just have to turn the sound sharing off.
Cryptography is basically just math, and
quantum does math faster. That's it.
Yes, and the thing is, anything sensitive, I'm talking nuclear launch codes, are protected with cryptography. So basically what he's saying is if a computer does come out that can break it, Bitcoin is the least of our concerns.
Yeah. It's not like, obviously, the people who are vulnerable to quantum computing attacks are developing defenses against quantum computing attacks. It's like, oh, well, quantum computing's here. I guess we're all going to die. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Adversarial governments wouldn't bat an eye to take assets if they can.
So yeah, essentially, guys, this was a few days ago, but it has developed since then. But this was a really good breakdown. Essentially, Lightning Labs, they published their working version of, essentially, to my understanding, it's just it's software that is going to allow Bitcoin to protect itself against the threat of quantum computing. You guys can read a little bit more in depth if you want.
Yeah, and this is at Bull Theory IO from Bull Theory. I thought we were already following Bull Theory because I use a lot of Bull Theory stuff. But yeah, give them a follow and look if you want to read the whole thing. I'll leave it up here if you want to pause and kind of read.
But yeah, that paragraph that you're on right now, essentially all it's really doing is it's just swapping out the code for the new code, but it's just replacing the math, because again, that's all cryptography is. So the fix is not as complex as people think it is. You just need better cryptography. And the catch is that it's going to be very expensive,
at least for now. But if you're protecting, BlackRock's $50 billion in Bitcoin, I don't think they care that it's $75 to protect that transaction.
And as energy costs gets lower, this will go down. I mean, think about what happened with Ethereum. I mean, gas was out of control for years, and now people are paying a penny for Ethereum gas. So, and this is just a prototype, so keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah, this is just a, hey, by the way, we're aware of a threat. We're working on it. All right, let's move into my favorite thing in the world, XRP. You've heard of the petrodollar. How about the petro Ripple? Ripple XRP plus Saudi Arabia oil tokenization. This is from Remy Relief X at Remy Relief X. He talked about it last May, but these are official documents. I don't care about the price prediction. That's nice. That would be wonderful. Saudi oil will be tokenized on XRP and XRP Ledger blockchain. You can see here, this is the White Rock oil tokenization from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This is the paper. Okay. And I'm going to show you a couple of things here. Ripple, whoops, you can't read that. Let me move that. And let me see if this helps you just a little bit.
Just a quick caveat. The only thing in the world more valuable to the world governments than money is oil. And they just totally...
And right now, that's because oil is energy.
Exactly. And again, this all breaks down to something we've talked about a lot on the show. When people ask, oh, well, what's crypto backed by? It's backed by energy, which is quite literally the only truly valuable thing. Think about it. When you go to work, you are trading your physical energy for money. And that's how everything else in the world works.
Yeah. So, again, this is within the paper. Ripple technology enables users to exchange money, including fiat currencies, digital currencies, gold, securities, contracts, and other items of value within and across national boundaries. Ripple positions itself not as a competitor to banks, but instead as a technology banks can use. Protocol can be seen as the backbone for new financial architecture. This is within this paper about Saudi oil tokenizing on the XRP ledger. Ripple protocol is designed to transfer any virtual liability anywhere in the world within 6 seconds. These liabilities can represent euros, dollars, pounds, but also barrels of oil, hours of electricity, services. The word liability is specifically used as almost all currency on the Ripple network as a virtual representation of an asset held at a financial institution, except for the native cryptocurrency XRP.
Which is why I don't think these crazy price predictions are really going to happen. But, this is why it's so important to stay educated in the space, guys, because I don't understand how somebody can read that and all the other crazy news that's happening with XRP and not be panicking if they don't own it. Because again, this isn't an if thing anymore. This is just when. And if you're paying attention to what's going on, like, it is literally happening.
Yeah. I could not find what SDR is, strategic dollar reserve. I don't know what SDR stands for. So
I think you're right.
This sentence right here that I'm about to read is indicative of pretty much, I think, all of crypto and blockchain, but specifically we're talking about XRP here. In today's globalized economy, it is imaginable that people who don't have access to a stable currency or worry about currency controls resort to using a world currency in denominating their daily commercial interactions. Ultimately, it is imaginable and probably desirable that alt SDRs become an easily accessible hard currency for eligible small businesses and individuals. What does that mean? You're taking something like, oh gosh, the Iranian dollar is worth nothing right now. Oh, your currency in a developing country in Africa, it's not worth anything, but you can still access global markets by access to a stable coin or stable coins on a crypto network.
And you know what? Honestly, I don't know why people fight the whole one world currency thing. Because it's like, first of all, there's thousands of cryptos. I mean, you can always use something else. They can't control all of them. And like, why wouldn't you like want this? You know what I'm saying? It's just strange to me that so many people are fighting all like the digitization of everything. Because like it's such a pain in the ass to go from one country to another and have to switch your currency. like, wouldn't you want everyone to use the same currency just for convenience sake? You know, like, especially when all the money's worth different amounts. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. All right. So I just wanted to point out that, yeah, Saudi Arabia, maybe you've heard of them as far as the oil business. Yeah. Oil on the XRP ledger. Now, transactions on the XRP ledger do require XRP to be utilized and burned, but the burn rate is minuscule. So it's
and that's my biggest argument for the people that are like, oh, it doesn't matter about the market cap. It's about the assets going on it. It's like half of the things that are going on the ledger aren't even going to move through XRP. The money's not actually going to move through XRP. It's going to be used in fees and stuff, but
yeah. And we'll have to see, like, here's a question, and please answer this in the comments. Give us some discussion on this. Get in the Discord and talk to us about this. But I understand that market cap affects a company's valuation or a stock's valuation. Cryptos aren't stocks or companies. Cryptocurrencies are now commodities and assets. So does that change how important market cap is as far as determining the maximum realistic price targets for an asset or a commodity?
I don't think it dictates the price targets necessarily, but it definitely affects the token price. You know what I mean?
Yes, so, but the token is an asset. It's not. It's not a security. It's not a company. Like, what's the market cap of Apple? Okay, that matters because you're measuring. Okay, they offer stock, and each stock is valued at this price. Therefore, the value of the company is this. Does that
most blockchains? I see what you're saying. Most blockchains operate that way as well, but Ripple is an exception, obviously, because there's Ripple and then there's XRP.
Yeah, Ripple is a company. XRP is an asset.
So just because Ripple's worth $20 billion or whatever doesn't mean that XRP is going to be worth $20 billion.
Right. It's just I don't know enough to flesh out that argument, but there are people making the argument that market cap for a token like XRP or Bitcoin, like the market cap is really just a measure of, okay, people are willing to pay this, right, and there's only this many of them. Therefore, the Bitcoin goes to $1 million. Who cares what the market cap is? Because not all of those Bitcoin are assets that are for sale. It's not a company that you're valuing based on what's its market cap. It's
and 2 million are lost forever. So it's like, technically it's really only 19 million.
And that doesn't mean they're all for sale. So does market cap really matter as far as capping the price of Bitcoin?
I think that's an interesting point for sure. And just to be clear, guys, I mean, XRP is going to move.
XRP will be fine. I'm not worried about it.
XRP is going to do just fine. But when I see these crazy price predictions like $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, just take it with a grain of salt, guys. I mean, XRP is probably going to go to like $50, maybe even 100. But, again, don't hold the bag waiting for that 10K.
Yep. This came out yesterday. We just didn't talk about it, but the Rakuten wallet from
no way. I have Rakuten.
Yep, that is they're a Japanese company, the crypto giant Rakuten Wallet. They launched XRP as a listed asset and payment, letting users buy XRP with loyalty points. So, Reptar, you have it. What is loyalty points?
So basically, when you buy stuff on the platform or you use just by using it, you get these like, virtual points, kind of like micro or what's it called? The digital currency, not crypto, but virtual currency. And then you can use it to redeem it for different rewards and stuff like that. Discounts is what it was used for, but now it looks like they are allowing you to buy XRP with it, which is
so
crazy.
basically, if like it's kind of like if I use my credit card to get credit card points,
Right. Exactly.
and so I could use those points to purchase XRP.
And Rakuten's also operates in the United States. Also, I mean, they're a Japanese company, but you can use the app in America too, obviously. So
yeah, Japan's everyday commerce platform, spanning 44 million users, 3 trillion plus loyalty points. That would totally depend on what the redemption rate is.
It's kind of like their Amazon, but it's a little more gamified. Like they have little fun things you can do to earn points and stuff.
Sure,
like,
okay.
That's the way to describe it.
But yeah, if it's like 1,000 points gets you 1 XRP versus if 100,000 points gets you one, like whatever. That's just. Maybe this will give us a little bit more from CoinDesk. Rakuten allow XRP to be used as a payment method for its 44 million customers. The move integrates XRP into their customers' payment ecosystem, expanding real-world utility for crypto and retail. Fine.
Think
so
about
you can now use your XRP to buy stuff
on basically the Amazon of Japan, which is wild because I was just talking about this yesterday. I was explaining to somebody because I was paying them in Bitcoin and it was taking 15 minutes. And I explained to them that Bitcoin's not supposed to be a currency. It's a store of value. And that's why XRP was chosen, is because it's so fast, so instant, and so convenient. And no one wants to sit there and wait 15 minutes to pay for their groceries.
Yep. So I asked Super Grok, I was like, why is this good and or important? So the integration stands out as one of the more concrete steps. Let me see if I go here, if you guys can still read that. Nope. What about down here? Oh, that's not any better. Okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm just trying to make this so that if you want to read along, you can. It's one of the more concrete steps toward real-world crypto utility. So there's a massive scale and retail on-ramp. Always good to make it easier for people to buy, sell, trade, use their crypto. It unlocks loyalty points pools over $23 billion worth.
You don't have to spend your crypto now or swap it, or excuse me, you don't have to sell it or swap it. So by purchasing things with your crypto directly, it's not a taxable event besides sales tax.
That's not true. Well, it depends on the country. Yeah, if you were to do that, because currently in the United States, even at the stablecoin level, if you buy something with stablecoins, it is still seen as you selling a digital asset and buying something, so it becomes a taxable event, even with stablecoins. Now, there's a bill proposed, like we talked about yesterday, to make it so that spending a stablecoin is not a taxable event. It's just like spending a dollar bill.
Okay, and that's see, guys, even I learned stuff on the show.
Yeah,
but no, that totally makes sense. It shouldn't be taxable for sure.
So this is users can convert their points into XRP. I imagine there's probably others. I think I saw somewhere there's also stuff like XLM and Doge. You can also convert to those as well. But so the 3 trillion points are worth roughly $23 billion. In theory, all of the points holders, if they cashed in their points for XRP, could buy $23 billion worth of XRP.
And I am taking all of my points on Rakuten right now, and I am going to try and buy some XRP.
Did we just lose our live? Or did I scroll off of it?
No, I think we're still live.
On TikTok. I just scrolled off of it. Is what happened. There we go. Anyway, real payment utility at scale, which is great. You can see here Rakuten Press has massive transaction volumes for e-commerce, like you were saying, like Amazon. It's tied to actual point of sale use in the country. Like you can buy stuff from a merchant with XRP. No interchange, no trade. Like here's my money in the form of XRP. So anyway, good stuff, good news. What else have I got here? One more thing from Diana. Invest with D. Ripple is entering Korea's $1 trillion government bond market through Kyobo and SBI. SBI is the bank. They partner with Kyobo Life Insurance, one of South Korea's biggest insurance companies. Insurance companies are scams because all they do is take your money and never pay you back. But they are testing Korea's first tokenized government bond settlement.
Government bonds are some of the safest investments.
SBI, Strategic Banking Initiative, has been, you can see, they've been partners with Kyobo Insurance. They launched a digital innovation fund, and then they launched a joint technical investment fund focused on digital finance. SBI acquired part of Kyobo shares. SBI, Strategic Banking Initiative, is one of Ripple's biggest global partners, has been for years. Yeah. Kyobo goes directly, the insurance company goes directly to Ripple for live blockchain tests to settle government bonds faster.
Again,
government bonds, insurance, Saudi Arabian oil. Is XRP the chosen one? I don't know.
So I'm looking right here to see. I don't see anything but XRP on it right now, but I'm going to the checkout.
Oh, you're checking on Rakuten to see if you can pay with XRP?
Yeah. Hold on, let me see here. Payment info. I'm not seeing anything yet, but we will post a screenshot in the Discord if we find anything.
Find something.
This is definitely interesting, guys, because I mean this is a pretty big deal. I mean, again, the competitors are going to follow. You know what I mean? Like we're going to see Amazon and some other companies, I think, really start to kind of jump on board with this. All right, let me see here.
While you're looking it up, I got a couple of other things. I got two more things that these are not related. It's just kind of some news I thought was interesting. And we try and bring you, up to date stuff from the Kobeisi letter, I guess. I don't know. Did you know that Anthropic is talking about IPOs?
Really?
Yeah. Anthropic's pre-IPO stock, one of the most anticipated IPOs of all time, right if there was SpaceX, now has an implied market cap of $851 billion on Jupiter.
That is insane. So technically, I mean, you can go on Jupiter right now and go buy, or you will be able to buy this tokenized stock.
Anthropic going IPO.
And in case you guys don't know, Anthropic is basically the competitor to ChatGPT.
They're the guys who are basically working on the Claude bot, which we use for Chompy, and they are apparently using to take over the world. I'm just kidding. I don't know that. But yeah, between SpaceX's anticipated $1.7 trillion IPO and both Anthropic and OpenAI targeting $1 trillion, the IPO market is about to go crazy. So yeah, just something to be aware of. And on that vein, Coinbase is moving to integrate Anthropic's tech for AI threat detection. Coinbase is going to use Anthropic's technology for AI threat detection.
That's very interesting. I'm wondering why they didn't choose OpenAI.
I don't know.
Very interesting. But again, I mean, Coinbase is a big player in the space, so Anthropic just got a lot of street cred on that. JC, when does the IPO go live?
Let me see if I can find out.
Because that's something I definitely.
I'll just ask.
We're asking AI when.
Yeah.
The AI. Love the future.
No official. Yeah. So there's not even a registration yet. So considering going public as early as October.
So you guys got time.
So still don't know yet. Let me see if there's just any other breaking news. Allbirds is apparently stopping making shoes and becoming an AI company. That's random.
It'd be like, hey guys, we're not going to do Web3 anymore. We're gonna start baking bread.
Another gaming project shuts down. Here's the bot Claude plus OpenClaw plus Play Market. Reptar will have updates on that soon.
Ooh. You know, it's crazy. All these gaming projects failing, and Illuvium's partnering with Lamborghini.
I love it. Win Lambo. Now Lambo.
Now. So again, I see these all over Twitter nowadays, guys. You know, people are using these different bots and different trade skills. I am going to share. I'm not going to share the code because I don't want to expose my API keys by accident. But I will show you guys the results for the past kind of 7 days. So last night, again, Chompy took 21 trades and he won every single one of them. This made our win rate go all the way up to 70%. We are trading on the Bitcoin fast markets on Polymarket. So as you guys can see, we have, you know, a little bit of losses. That's not actually accurate because we, you know, redeemed this. And then we also have some money in the wallet that I'm not going to show right yet. But our win rate is what I want you guys to pay attention to. This is while we were all testing it and stuff. And as you can see, we're on an uptrend now. 91 wins, 40 losses. I mean, that's wild. Like if I go to this, you guys can see all day, 4 hours ago, $30, 10 hours ago, $10, 10 hours ago. So this was all yesterday. So definitely, you know, lucrative. I'll show you guys the skills because there's a lot of different things you guys can use. There's AI divergence, there's signal sniper, there's Elon tweets. This one I'm actually trying out today. It is the, where did it go? The Polymarket Music Entertainment Trader, the Climate Trader. There are so many of these skills, guys. And we actually ended up building our own because, you know, if everyone's using the same skill, it doesn't really give you that much of an edge. So what's cool is you can take these templates and you can kind of plug them into AI and get better versions of them. So we will keep you guys kind of updated more on, you know, what's going on with Chompy. But right now he is optimized. He is winning. And we just got to tweak him a little bit. And we are going to be running a crypto workshop weekly in the Discord where we're going to, you know, maybe an hour a day, have a group of, you know, our developers get together and just kind of, you know, discuss what we're doing with the bots and stuff, you know, kind of learn from each other, bounce ideas around. So if you guys are interested in, you know, building one of these bots or learning more, definitely hop in the Discord. We have the link in the description. And JC, what is today?
Today is April the 15th, extortion day. Oh, you mean game night. If you are a little bit bummed about having to give the government more of your money that they just give away to scamming daycare and Medicare fraud people, come join us in the Discord tonight to bitch and moan and maybe win a little bit of your money back.
Yeah. Guys, we host a weekly event, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Wednesday. You know, kind of a little degenerate. We play some games. We give away crypto prizes. And speaking of Lamborghini, we will, when they come out, we will be giving away the limited edition Illuvium discs. They're kind of like card packs, NFT packs. You could win something very valuable out of them. So we'll be giving those away as well. And we got some exciting updates for our NFT holders today. So. And
Jarrett Cook says, and we'll end with this, buy the dip and don't even trip. That's right.
I love that.
We've said it before. This is going to be our catchphrase. Jenny wealth requires Jenny patience.
And Jenny's got a lot of patience.
Yeah. Just remember, the markets can remain.
He didn't even get it.
I'm sorry.
Jenny has a lot of patience.
Oh,
Wife's a neurosurgeon.
no, she's not. She's not a neurosurgeon. All right, we're going to end with this thing right here. Boop. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, if you listen to something two strangers said on the internet and you use it to make financial decisions, you are a moron.
Moron.
Although, if you were a moron, you are up bigly because AI and all the projects that we've talked about over the past couple of weeks have done nothing but absolutely pump. And, just do your own research, guys. Look at why we are so bullish on these projects, learn why we're so excited about them, and make your own decisions.
Yep. See you tonight at game night, and Chompy's going to take us out of here.